Hello and welcome. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to today's academic session. It's truly a privilege to engage with you on a theme that is both fundamental and far-reaching in the fields of psychology and education, the educational implications of individual differences. This theme lies at the very core of human inquiry because it helps us understand not only the common features of human behavior but also the unique qualities that make each person distinct. Our discussion today is meant to deepen our understanding of how individual differences emerge in classroom, how they influence learning, behavior and personal growth, and why they are central to building inclusive and supportive learning environments. By the end of this lecture, you will have a comprehensive understanding of why individual differences matter in education, how teacher can accommodate individual differences in classroom, some educational plan that a teacher can use to accommodate individual differences in classroom, and some recent trends in accommodating individual differences in classroom. Each learner carries a unique set of qualities shaped by their background, environment, abilities, personalities, and life experiences. These qualities serve as filters through which they perceive, interpret, and respond to learning. Jonassen and Grabowski, 1993, explained this beautifully, stating that every learner processes instruction through their own filters or lenses. These filters can sometimes make learning easier and other times create barrier. B.F. Skinner also emphasized that in order to help every child learn more effectively regardless of their ability, it's essential first to understand their individual differences. Students bring with them not only different cognitive abilities but also diverse cultural backgrounds, language, way of thinking and emotional experiences. These differences can become great strength if nurtured or obstacles if ignored. Thus, individuality is not an obstacle to overcome but a valuable resource to be embraced for the growth of learners, for the enrichment of classroom and for the progress of society as a whole. Why it matters in education? Research continually highlights the importance of this understanding. A recent feature in School Psychology Quarterly reported several studies demonstrating the powerful influence teachers have on student success. Teacher support was found to strengthen both academic performance and emotional well-being. Interestingly, it showed that students' attitude towards learning influence how classroom environments translate into outcome. This tells us something vital. It's not just what teachers teach, but how they engage with students and how they respect individuality that shape success. In every classroom, we encounter students who differ in countless ways: how they think, how they process information, how they express themselves, and how they learn best. Some learners thrive by seeing, others by listening, and many by doing. Some students need extra time for reflection, while others grasp concepts quickly, but may need challenge to stay engaged. This means that a single teaching method cannot serve all learners equally well. Effective teaching requires flexibility. Teachers must adopt varied instructional strategies, offer students meaningful choices, and create an environment where every perspective is acknowledged. Such practices do more than improve academic achievement. They also foster confidence, self-esteem, and motivation. Educational scholars have long supported this view. Suki Hatono 2007 observed that effective teaching is not about expecting all students to learn in the same way. Instead, it's about meeting them where they are, adapting instruction to their needs, and guiding them along their own path to growth. This perspective redefines the role of a teacher from someone who simply delivers content to someone who understands, guides, and empowers learners. When we value individual differences, we do more than improve classroom performance. We also nurture respect, build cooperation, and promote harmony in society. Recognizing individuality lays the foundation for inclusive classrooms, equitable workplace, and communities that celebrate diversity. Every child brings unique potential. Some excel in creativity, others in analytical thinking, problem solving, leadership, or empathy. By recognizing these strengths and giving students opportunity to develop them through academic as well as co-curricular activities, we are preparing not just good students but capable citizens. As educators, we must never forget that no two learners are alike. Their personalities, learning style, and strengths are shaped by their inherited traits and lived experiences. If we take time to observe and understand these differences, our teaching becomes more meaningful, engaging, and effective. But when differences are ignored, students may disengage, lose confidence, or struggle silently. Therefore, effective teaching begins with knowing your students deeply, not just what they know, but how they think, how they feel, and how they behave. We must ask ourselves, how does each child absorb information? How do they process it? How do they apply it in daily life? With such understanding, we can design learning experience that truly resonate with them. Adapting to the unique need of our students means we are not just preparing them for examination, we are instilling confidence, sparking motivation, and nurturing a lifelong love of learning. Qualities that will serve them far beyond the classroom. The educational implications of individual differences are profound. They remind us that every child is unique, every learner deserves recognition, and every classroom has the potential to be a place where diversity is not accepted but celebrated. Building on what we have just discussed, we shall now explore how a teacher can accommodate individual differences in classroom. Of course, accommodating individual difference is not always easy. Teachers often face challenges such as large class size, limited time, or scarce resources. Despite these constraints, it's both possible and necessary to adopt flexible, inclusive, and creative approach to reach learners of all kinds. Today, we will discuss some key strategies that can help us effectively to accommodate individual differences in the classroom. The first strategy is differentiated instruction. The first strategy is differentiated instruction, popularized by Carol Tomlinson. This approach is grounded in a simple truth. Not every learner learns in the same way or at the same pace. Differentiation allows teachers to adapt 4 elements: content, process, product, and learning environment. Content. Some learners may need simplified materials, while others thrive on enrichment activities. Process. Teachers can use varied methods such as discussion, group project, or hands-on task. Product. Student may express their understanding through essays, models, presentation, or portfolios. Environment. Classrooms can be organized to support quiet reflection for some and active collaboration for others. Differentiated instruction creates equity by ensuring that every learner has access to learning that is both challenging and achievable. Second, varied assessment tools. Assessment is often seen as the measure of learning, yet relying on a single test does not capture the true growth of a student. Wiggins and M.C. Teschney remind us that assessment should be like a photo album rather than a single snapshot. This means incorporating multiple forms of assessment, traditional tests and quiz for factual recall, projects and presentation to evaluate creativity and application, portfolios to track progress over time, self and peer assessment to promote reflection and responsibility. Varied assessment provides a fuller picture of student achievement and gives learner multiple ways to demonstrate their abilities. Inclusive education practice. The third strategy is inclusion. Inclusive education ensures that every student, regardless of ability, disability, or background, has equal opportunity to learn. Inclusion is not about lowering standard, rather it's about removing barrier and designing lessons in the way that all learners can participate. For example, using Universal Design for Learning or UDL, teachers plan lesson that offers multiple means of representation, engagement and expression. This guarantees that students with diverse needs feel respected, supported and capable of success. Fourth one, motivation based strategies. No teaching method can be successful without motivation. Research consistently shows that classrooms where students thrive are those where teachers create an environment that is both supportive and challenging. Motivation can be nurtured in many ways, like by using reinforcement and rewards to encourage effort, by giving constructive feedback that focuses on growth rather than failure, by connecting learning with real life application so that students see relevance and purpose. When students feel that what they are learning matters to their lives, their enthusiasm, perseverance and achievement naturally increases. Fifth one is classroom management and grouping. A well-structured classroom is the foundation of effective teaching. Classroom management ensures discipline, focus and smooth learning transitions. Beyond order, it also provides opportunities for meaningful social interaction. For effective classroom management and grouping, a teacher can create peers to encourage peer mentoring, small groups for collaborative problem solving, mixed ability groups where stronger students support weaker ones, interest-based clusters where students work on topics they are passionate about. Such grouping not only supports academic growth but also develops social skills like cooperation, respect and empathy. Sixth one is technology for personalization. We live in the age of technology and classrooms must embrace its potential. Adaptive learning software and digital platform now allow teachers to personalize learning in unprecedented ways. For example, learning apps adjust the difficulty of exercises according to a student's pace. Online simulations help visual and kinesthetic learners grasp abstract concepts. Virtual classroom offer interactive space where collaboration is not bound by time or geography. Technology, when used wisely, allows each learner to progress at their own level, ensuring engagement and sustained motivation. Seventh one is culturally responsive teaching. Another essential strategy that is culturally responsive teaching. In today's globalized world, classrooms are rich with diversity, different language, tradition and worldviews. Culturally responsive teaching values this diversity. It integrates students' cultural backgrounds into learning, making lessons more relatable and meaningful. For example, teachers might use stories, examples or case studies from students' own cultures. This practice not only promotes equity and inclusion but also fosters pride, belonging and mutual respect. Eighth one is scaffolding, a concept inspired by Lev Vygotsky, refers to breaking learning into smaller, manageable steps and guiding students through them. The classic method is I do, we do and you do. First, the teacher models the task, then the class practices together with guidance. Finally, students attempt the task independently. This gradual release of responsibility empowers learners, helping them move from dependence to independence. Scaffolding is particularly effective in building confidence in students who might otherwise feel overwhelmed. Ninth one is learning as a team. Collaboration transforms learning from an individual task into a collective journey. A classroom that fosters teamwork becomes a true learning community. When students work towards shared goals, they learn to divide responsibilities, trust one another and celebrate collective success. More importantly, they begin to support not only their own progress but also the personal growth of their peers. This spirit of collaboration nurtures empathy, leadership, and interpersonal skills, qualities essential for life beyond the classroom. 10th one is recognizing multiple intelligence. Finally, we must acknowledge Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences. Intelligence is not a single, one-dimensional capacity. Students may excel in linguistic, logical, spatial, musical, bodily kinesthetic, interpersonal, intrapersonal, or naturalistic intelligence. By designing lessons that tap into these varied intelligences, such as integrating music into mathematics, drama into history, or outdoor activities into science, teachers ensure that every learner feels engaged and recognized. This approach helps students discover their strengths and develop self-confidence. Accommodating individual differences is more than a teaching method. It's a mindset. It's the belief that every child can learn and the commitment to adapt, innovate, and continuously grow. Let's now examine some of the well-known educational plans that were introduced over time for accommodating individual differences. To begin with, we have the Dalton Plan, developed by Helen Parkhurst in Dalton. This approach views that school as a child's house where freedom, cooperation, and wise use of time form its foundation. Students are encouraged to select subjects that match their own interest, thereby learning with a sense of enthusiasm and ownership. Second, Morrison Plan, introduced by Professor H.Q. Morrison. This model emphasizes directed guidance and makes use of unit assignments. Learning is carefully organized into well-structured units, and teacher provides step-by-step direction to ensure clarity and continuity in the learning process. Third, Winnetka Plan, established by C.W. Washburn in the School of Winnetka. The central principle here is individualized learning. Each student progresses at their own pace in every subject, ensuring that no learner is hurried forward prematurely nor left struggling behind. Fourth one is Project Method, developed by William Kilpatrick. This method places emphasis on real-life, meaningful projects that connect with students' personal interests and abilities. It makes learning more practical, experiential, and collaborative, while also fostering independence and responsibility. Taking together all these approaches illustrate one essential truth: education becomes most powerful when it adapts to the needs, abilities, and interests of the child. The more learning is shaped around the learner, the more it transforms into a process that is engaging, relevant, and deeply rewarding. Now, let's move forward and examine the recent trends in accommodating individual differences in classroom. This is a very important area as it helps us to see how education, psychology, and society at large are evolving to meet the diverse needs of individuals. To begin with, technology has emerged as a powerful ally in this journey. Through the use of digital tools, adaptive learning platforms, and even the study of social media behaviors, researchers can now observe how people learn, think, and interact on a scale never seen before. These insights allow us to design highly personalized educational methods and mental health interventions. For instance, a student struggling with mathematics can receive adaptive exercises suited to their level, while another who learns visually can access video-based resources. This use of technology ensures that learners are supported in ways that truly match their personal styles and challenges. Building on this view, we come to second trend, that is the strong connection between personality and mental health. Modern research consistently shows that certain personality traits such as being highly sensitive, anxious, or naturally resilient influence how individuals experience stress and emotional well-being. This recognition is crucial because it means that educators, counselors, and therapists can no longer adopt a one-size-fits-all approach. Instead, they must provide compassionate, individualized guidance that take into account the emotional and personality-based needs of each person. A student who is anxious, for example, may require reassurance and gradual exposure, while another who is confident may thrive under challenge. Moving forward, a third important trend is recognition of diverse learning styles. It has now been well established that people do not learn in the same way. Some understand best by reading and reflecting, others by seeing diagrams and images, still others by listening carefully, and many by actually engaging in hands-on practice. When teachers adapt their instructional methods to suit these varied styles, students not only achieve better academic results but also develop a deeper sense of confidence in their own abilities. This is why modern classrooms increasingly employ a mix of reading material, visual aids, discussions, and practical activities, ensuring that no learner is left behind. Equally important is the fourth trend, that is placing emphasis on strengths rather than weakness. For a long time, education was focused on remediation, that is fixing what students could not do well, while support in weak areas remain important. There is now a stronger realization that every learner has strength that can be built upon, whether it's creativity, leadership, empathy, problem solving, or artistic expression. Identifying and nurturing these strengths empower individuals to grow with confidence. A strength-based approach shifts education from being deficit focused to being growth-oriented, giving learners the motivation to achieve more. Finally, we must highlight the rising importance of emotional intelligence or EQ. Earlier, success was largely measured by cognitive ability or IQ. Today, however, we know that intelligence alone is not enough. the ability to manage emotions, demonstrate empathy, build positive relationships, and handle conflict calmly is equally significant. Emotional intelligence is now considered a vital life skill, one that contributes to success not only in academics but in professional careers and personal relationships. A child who learns to work collaboratively, show kindness, and stay calm under pressure may often achieve more in life than one who excels only in academics. Coming to conclusion, as we draw this lecture to a close, let us remind ourselves that education is not simply about delivering lessons or transmitting information. It's about recognizing the uniqueness of every learner who steps into classroom. The concept of individual differences captures this truth. Every student brings their own traits, abilities, cultural backgrounds, interests, and ways of thinking. These differences do not divide us. They enrich the learning process and form the true foundation of effective teaching. The reality of classroom is clear. No two students learn in same way, think in same manner, or express their potential identically. As Howard Gardner wisely said, it's not how smart you are, it is how you are smart. Philosopher John Dewey's insight is equally relevant. If we teach today's students as we taught yesterday's, we rob them of tomorrow. This is not just a warning against outdated method. It's a call to adapt, innovate, and remain responsive to changing times and diverse needs. Our classrooms today are more varied, multicultural, and dynamic than ever before. Accommodating individual differences is not merely a method, it's a mindset, a philosophy, and a responsibility. When we embrace it, we do more than raise test scores. We shape lives, empower futures, and build a society that values every voice. And that ultimately is the true purpose of education. Dear participants, I hope this discussion has provided you with a clear understanding of the educational implications of individual differences. As we have seen, each learner brings unique abilities, experiences, and perspectives into the classroom, and it is the responsibility of educators to design environments that honor and nurture these differences. By embracing diversity, applying inclusive strategies, and fostering both intellectual and emotional growth, we move closer to creating classrooms where every learner is valued, supported, and empowered to succeed. I hope you will carry this insight forward into your academic and professional practice, remembering always that true education flourishes when individuality is respected and nurtured. Thank you. Keep learning and growing.